I just completed my treatment with the Learning How to Learn channel, as you can see, going left and right. Yeah. But can't really show you guys yet because I want to keep it a secret. But today we're going to be talking about why this channel is going to be of existence and what does it mean to me about learning how to learn. As some of you know, this year I have taken a step back from working full-time in the film industry to really rebuild my life, whether in my fitness, running a marathon, or my own career, chasing my dreams with building my own internet shows. And one of the shows that I'm creating right now is a Learning How to Learn channel, simply because I want to learn things. I want to upgrade myself. I want to expand my knowledge on languages, skills, and people, and so many other things in the world, which I find excites me. I'm reigniting my passion for learning once again. When I was younger, life was never like this. I never had the curiosity to go out and learn things simply because I felt that learning was scary. Learning was something that I could not do, and learning was attached to grades and life. If I did not get the grade, if I did not succeed in life like the public narrative tells me to, then what's the point of living? That was my mentality back in the day. But I need to bring you guys to a very crucial point in my life because I'm dyslexic. Someone who has grown up with this learning disability. It has been a very hard journey for me, whether in reading and writing or just grades in school and just getting through my own limiting beliefs of seeing the world differently than how it was shown to me. So what is dyslexia? Dyslexia is a learning disability that affects reading and writing. It had a big impact on my self-confidence. Think about this scenario. Everyone in class was supposed to read one sentence of a paragraph. We're going around the class. Before it came to me, I would start to just memorize my line and wait for my cue. You know, I would go back and forth. I would go back and forth in the line and the kind of thing. And ask my friend, like, how do you say this word? How do you do that word? Mind you, I was 16 years old. That was how bad dyslexia was. Reading and writing, bad. When I was younger in primary school, probably like 11 or 12, I could not differentiate BDPQ. I had to be this guy to literally put out my hands like this and go B, D, P, Q. B, D, and P and Q. Yeah, that's how you see it. So can you imagine if I were to encounter such a word, I would need to break it down with sounds and shapes and letters and all that kind of thing, especially when I went to the Dyslexia Association of Singapore to really help me. This was the stuff that I was taught. I was taught repetition. I was taught how to identify letters with sounds and break down words, how to do this kind of thing. So life growing up was very hard as it was. So I'm here to give you an example of what I mean by breaking down a word with sounds and how I would come to derive at a single word. I'm going to use the example of photosynthesis. Photo, PH. It could be an F, but I've seen this word before, so I know it's PH. Photo. Sin, it can be S-I-N, O-S-I-N, or S-Y-N, because I know that Y also makes the I sound. Sin, the sis, photosynthesis. The more you say it, the more you get better at it. The more repetition will help you to get faster at deriving at whatever this is. But just spelling the word alone was hard. Now we have to make sense of the word. And after we make sense of this word, think about doing this for every single word in a complete sentence, and then try to make sense of the entire sentence before you can repeat the same process in the next sentence to form the entire paragraph. That was how slow the process was for me to read. It was tremendously such a big challenge for me, and I was such afraid of doing anything like that. Reading, writing. TLDR, reading, writing was hard, which led me to believe that I could not read and write. And as I grew into adulthood, I did not read or write anything. But there were some saving graces that I have learned to become better at reading and writing. For writing, because I'm in filmmaking, I will write a lot of scripts, and normally scripts aren't in big chunks of paragraphs. They are more of small dialogue that people talk one-to-one. That really helped me practice on the writing aspect of whatever I was doing. On top of this, when I was going through the whole life struggle thing, I wanted to write down my thoughts, and that's when I had my own journals and notebooks that I would write my thoughts and whatever in. And slowly that allowed me to get better at not only producing the thoughts into words, but allowed me to get better at writing. Because I transitioned from writing it on my book to writing it on the computer, and that became my diary of learning how to write even better. Now for reading, that's a whole completely different story, because I always felt that I could not read, with the fear of not being able to complete anything. So in a similar story like the marathon, where I said that I wanted to challenge myself to do something great, from not being able to run, being afraid of running, because my frame of reference was my 2.4 km run, which I thought was the hardest thing in life. Then later on in life, I went from 10 km to half marathon. Now I'm training for a full marathon, all because I had a different point of entry and someone taught me how to actually run. So that's why now I feel very confident about it. So reading, how was I able to suddenly read so many books? At a point in time when I said I wanted to give reading a try, I wanted to choose a book that I was going to complete, similar to me saying that I wanted to run a 10 kilometers and complete it regardless of anything. I'm just going to complete it, and I'm going to accomplish something greater than myself. So I had to pick a book. How I ended up picking this particular book was because I come from a creative industry. I saw the word art, and because I played all these very war games and that kind of thing, I was thinking war. So I picked up The Art of War, and I was thinking, all right, this is a short book. I'm gonna try something. This could be interesting for me. Not sure how it's gonna go, but I'm gonna pick it up, I'm gonna read it, I'm gonna finish it. That was the goal. Similar again to my 10 km run, finish it. Don't care how long it takes, just complete it. Because once I complete this book, I know that I can accomplish anything more than whatever this is. I opened the book for the first time in my life, saying that I will stick through this and read it. Apparently, I had already finished reading the book without reading the book. How did it come to be? Because I was playing all these video games, they will always have loading screens, or people would just quote here and there things from the book. So, unironically, all these small parts of the book were scattered around the internets, and the quotes and everything that I was reading, just very fragmented here and there. And I kept reading all these things over and over again that I did not know where the actual source came from, until I opened The Art of War and I was like, oh, I know this first line, I know the second line, I know he said this, I know he said this. And line by line by line by line, 3 hours went by, I completed the entire book. That was something as a 23-year-old to complete my very first book. That changed my life. That changed my life because I knew that if I were to read something that I'm interested in, I knew that I would complete it. And that was one of the biggest accomplishments that I ever faced in my life. So reading was never an issue anymore. So from there, I went on to read more books, business and personal development, and then arts and so on and so forth. So I have a wide range of books with different things that I read now. Currently, I'm reading A Little Life. It is one of the books that I saw that was recommended on TikTok. I know a lot of people cry from it. I'm not really sure, but it's a very thick book comparative to whatever I used to be reading. Now this is my marathon in the reading world right now. So all in all, so far what we have been talking about is just my journey of trying different, not harder. Point of entry is very important, and also how I tried again doing something that I was afraid of will really help me in the whatever I'm doing. After I have learned that I could accomplish reading, accomplish writing, that also brought my confidence to a whole new level, which I started to want to read on learning how to learn things, because maybe with examples of my running, reading, writing, I can learn anything. So since it became very apparent that I can actually break through and learn anything based off these 3 examples, this is why I decided that I wanted to go and learn things like languages and skills and all these kind of things. Anything outside my field of filmmaking. Because I know if I can do the whole filmmaking thing and go through years of it, and I can break through reading, writing, running, I can learn anything. And this time, there's nothing tied to grades, nothing tied to career. I just want to learn. What I feel is learning should be fun. Learning should be something that anyone can partake in, because we as humans are curious creatures. We as humans absorb and learn and bring in, and this is what we should be doing. So that's why this channel that I'm creating is not the maximalist approach to show, guys, I can, learn something in 30 days and just like forget about it. It's like, I can upgrade myself. I can learn things I can absorb, which will bring me to a next level of my life, because it opens up doors to so many things in life. Some people who have never traveled before learn how to travel, learn how to navigate. You get to a new country and you're like, whoa, it's a whole new world. Similar to learning a language. Suddenly you're in the English algorithm like I am, and then I'm going to be learning Mandarin. Technically I know Mandarin, but then properly learning Mandarin. Then suddenly I open a whole new world to the whole content space of Mandarin Chinese, and I can finally go to those countries having the confidence to speak to people without being tied down by my limits. You can be unlimited. You can be a person to rebuild yourself. You can be someone to break through things, and I have seen it and experienced it so many times. So that's why this channel exists. It's to inspire someone out there who believes that they cannot learn anything, who believes learning is always tied to grades, who believes that you can't do things for fun and you can't learn anything. I will be the example for you. I will show you my entire journey of learning from scratch. Coming back to more practical things like this presentation over here, the way that I'm going to treat this is combining a few elements. Personally, in my journey, which doesn't really link to anything, ever since I started getting into K-pop, I have been getting into a lot of the reality TV type of editing. I looked at these videos thinking, you can edit like this? Let me try it for myself. So I did. I tried it for myself and I was like, this is so fun. It reignited my entire passion for making videos again. So that is the way that I sort of wanted it to be treated, which is something that I wrote down here. But on top of this, I'm trying to combine this with the study with me element. You know, those videos of like people studying for 3-4 hours, Pomodoro and that kind of thing. So I'm trying to combine 3 elements together. The first would be editing like a reality TV kind of thing, internet show. And then with the study with me, where it's documenting real life, teaching you how to study for long hours and how do you learn things and so on and so forth. While the reality of actually progressing as a person who is learning stuff. So with these 3 elements combined, this is the Learning How to Learn channel, which I'm working on. Probably the next time I'm talking about this, it will be more than just a slideshow. It will be actual, showing you the behind the scenes of the set that I'm building in my attic, and also how it's going to be planned out and the kind of things. You guys here on this channel are seeing the insights of not me just running my marathon, but also planning these other channels, other channels. There's not just going to be one, it's going to be multiple. But as we go along, I would update you on the progress of it. But just to engage you guys currents for a little bit, if there's something that you want me to learn, whether it's Braille or Morse code or baking or whatever, please put it down in the comments below, because I want to go and see what other ideas we can generate. It's half reality, half actual, because I am working towards an actual goal of learning the actual skills and languages. It's not something that after I finish, I'm just gonna like forget about it because it's for the camera. No, it's because I really want to genuinely learn something, and then I can take this and build upon it from there itself. Who knows, in the future, once I learn the different languages, we can go and expand out into different countries and go on travels and things like that. Like I said, this could be my full-time job, but right now, I'm here to inspire you guys to be the best that you can be. That's all I have to say for today. I will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.